not let people shame us for acknowledging who we are, because people are trying to drill this thing in our heads that you guys are really just African. Okay? We're genetically African, but culturally we are a different group. You don't try to make Jamaicans all African. They're not called African Jamaicans. You don't have African Trinidadians. All of these other groups are allowed to have their specific culture. We are told we're not supposed to acknowledge our specific culture. Why is that? Because so many people leech off of our culture. We're supposed to attribute our culture to everybody else. Now that we're not doing that, people are crying foul because now they have to hold their own nuts and they are not cutting the mustard. They have not put up any cultural wins on the board. Don't ever let anybody tell a foundational Black American about no damn culture. None of these groups have a culture. I'm not trying to be mean. Let me be real, because sometimes I know a lot of people who are non-FBA. They're all like, "Oh man, come on, Tariq, don't beat up on us." I'm not talking about my riders. If you are a non-FBA rider, we're rocking with you. If you, except stealing from us. They have no culture. We are the culture. Everything great about the United States of America was either designed by foundational Black Americans or influenced by foundational Black Americans. We've had a hand in everything great in American culture. We are American culture without any exceptions. You can't name anything great that we have not either designed, created, or at least influenced. You understand me? The only thing the white supremacists do is steal. They've stolen from us. This is real. And the thing is, our culture is so buried. Our culture is buried. This is why I started doing film, so we can talk about our culture.
Now here go another raccoon leader of our peoples. And pretty much they pushing this narrative of the so-called white man about Africa and about this black when ain't nobody black, and we dang sure not no Africans. That word was created by the so-called white man. But when you go into what he's saying about we created everything, this is the proof of who he is. It's one of the main proofs of who we are. Jeremiah 51:19. The portion of Jacob is not like them, for he is the former of all things. He is the former of all things. See, the reason that the focus is on the what he called a foundation of Black Americans, because they are the tribe of Judah. See, the tribe of Judah is the head tribe of Jacob. And they understand this. Let's get Zechariah. Zechariah chapter 12, verse 7. It says, the Lord also shall save the tents of Judah first. The Lord also shall save the tents of Judah first. See, that's why in 1950, Albert Bibbin, he went to pushing the truth on a whole nother level in New York City. And now this truth is all over the world. Now all the tribes have heard of this truth. All the tribes can recognize what's going on. And most of the Northern Kingdom tribes, the Hispanics, they already done heard that they was Israelites. See, the Native Americans, they heard that they was Israelites because it was all kind of Hebrew and things over here. But Judah, when Judah started to hear it, see, when Judah started to hear that they were the children of Israel, that's when the truth went to prospering. And it's the end of our captivity and the fall of our enemies. So this is why the truth is coming out strong. Now, you still got these people talking about a reparation when that's not going to happen. These people's kingdom is falling. Their own people throwing up their hands and going to create bunkers because they know it's a nuclear holocaust coming. But a Negro is talking about getting some money from somebody that done threw up their hands and they digging holes in the ground all over the place. The richest people, not no broke behind rednecks in the country, riding a pickup truck spitting tobacco out his mouth. See, not them type of people digging holes in the ground. It's the most richest, filthiest, richest people. Let's use Bill Gates for example. He digging all his properties. He got $5 million bunkers on his properties, because he got 100 billions of dollars. But these Negroes is still going with the narrative of the so-called white man. We African, we black. We African, we black. There's no such thing. None of them terms. The history of the Israelites go back 3,000 something years, and these Negroes know what their history is. Let's go ahead and give them the thing that we know. It's not no kind of confusion in the situation. It's a clear history. All these people know the history. Deuteronomy 28:68. And the Lord shall bring you into slavery again with ships. By the way thereof I spoke unto you, you shall see it no more again. Talking about the homeland. And there ye shall be sold to your enemies for bondman and bondwoman, slave man and slave woman, and no man shall buy you or redeem you or give you reparations so you can come out of your slavery and go get you some land somewhere. It's not going to happen. See, they know these things, but they playing games with the gullible people of our nation. Now, what's the other one? Clearly seen that we came over here in the transatlantic slave trade. And so that's one major prophecy that the Israelites fulfilled. Then we created everything. Jacob is the former of all things. It's clear. It's not hard to tell. And our history been around forever. Then you got, let's get Joel. Joel is another massive indication, and it spells out slavery. The whole book of Joel, well, chapter 2 and chapter 3 of Joel, pretty much all his writings was about slavery, man. Let me read verse 1 of chapter 3 of Joel. For behold, in those days and in that time will I bring again the captivity or slavery of Judah and Jerusalem. That's the whole operation, man. And any so-called Christian, so-called white man, any biblical scholar will tell you that this is about the second coming. This is about when the Savior is coming to save his people. So it's no confusion in the situation. It's a clear-cut, drawn operation. That this thing is about slavery. Where is it? Verse 6. No, verse 3 is another indication. It say, it's Joel 3 and 3. Joel 3 and 3. And they have cast lots for my people and have given a boy for an harlot. We saw that on all kind of documentaries that they was pedophiles with the slave boys, being pedophiles with the slave boys, and sold a girl for wine that they might drink. Then wine was the whole money maker, was a major money maker when it came to these so-called white colonizers. The rum that was being produced in the islands, the sugar cane, the whole island situation, sugar cane, that's what they was producing. Through that, they came up with rum. Rum came to America. George Washington pushing rum with his campaign he giving out bottles of rum so people can vote for him and make him president. He was one of the main presidents that they promote. America foundation was on rum that was created by the slave that was being sold so they can go down there and produce the rum. Because at first it was being sugar was the purpose, was the plan. We need to produce sugar. But sugar wasn't competing with the rum. The rum had more money was being made with the rum than the sugar. Sugar was something old. Cotton was big in America too, but that rum and that wine was major. Then when you go into California, where the Northern Kingdom was at, the Native Americans, they was over there being slaved to make them make the wine. So either way you want to go, to Israelite, both ends, Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom, was the foundation of wine in the history, not just America, point blanks in history. When you plug it in into any historical search, it's going to pop up. Slavery was the foundation during the Atlantic slave trade era. So it's no coincidence what the heck going on. But these people want to push reparation. See, they want to keep pushing the narrative, Africans, blacks. When you done heard, these people done heard the truth. That's why when the nuclear missiles come and burn these people up, it's not going to be no surprise, and there's nobody going to have pity on them. See, because they done heard the report. They heard the report, and they hearing it every day on the TV. The Lord got the thing on TV. Every channel, you can be looking at Al Jazeera, some Arab channel. You can look at all the Indian channel, the Pakistani channel. Any channel, news channel you can talk about, you got talks of nuclear missiles with Russia and America. They know the Cold War. Russia and America, World War I, was between two different groups. World War II, it was two main groups that was fighting with each other. And so this thing is not no mystery. It's not that hard to understand. And the miracle in it is that you don't understand it. You can't see it. Something that's so plain upon tables, you can't see this. That shows that it's been a miracle. It's a miracle, a modern day miracle is going on, man. That's like somebody don't know what the color of the sky is. That's a freaking miracle. You got 20/20 vision and you can't see what color that sky is. That's a miracle, man. That's not normal. That's not logical. There's nothing in that thing that makes any kind of sense of normal or something that's normal. That's abnormal. That's supernatural. It's not natural for you to not see a clear situation. And that's what's going on with these Negroes. See, they cannot see it for nothing. They still pushing a reparation and some false narrative by the so-called Christian pastor, the white Christian pastors, the Catholic Church, talking about somebody is an African when you got all kind of biblical nations. See, all kind of biblical nations in the history of the Israelites, people that was keeping history. See, they wasn't living in caves, be living like wild animals. They weren't living like these Africans eating rats and stuff out the bushes. They weren't living like the Chinaman eating bat soup and monkey brains, or the Indians eating monkey brains. They weren't living like these people. They had a specific culture and they kept their records in the whole world. Let me just get that limitation. See, you're not talking about a people that was ignorant. We was just how we are right now. Everybody want to be like us. Everybody want to think like us. Everybody want to talk like us. Everybody want to hate on us. See, ain't nothing changed, man. It's just that we ain't got no money and no homeland. See, that's the whole thing. That's the only reason we got a bad name. We don't got money and a homeland. We don't have an organized nation. But let me get this limitation. I'm going to end it on that. Lamentations chapter 4 and I think 4. Yeah, chapter 4 verse 12. It say the kings of the earth and all the inhabitants of the world would not have but let me say it right, would not have believed that the adversary and the enemy should have entered into the gates of Jerusalem. See, all the people of the world wouldn't have believed that you finna enter in the gates of Jerusalem. Not only is they got God on their side, they got Negroes big as Shaquille O'Neal, LeBron James, Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, George Foreman, sitting up in there ready to battle, ready to knock your head off. See, they got them type of big with accuracy, with agility. Not no big goofy Africans now. We talking about some certified NBA football, NFL players that's gonna knock your head off. And we talking about war. We going to war. We got spears. We got swords. We finna knock your head off. We got axes, daggers. You're not finna come up. You're not finna go up in the gates of Jerusalem. Nobody would have believed it. God had to do that. See, let's get that real quick, because see they rejected them. They promised Messiah, and they can reject whoever they want to reject. They still God's people. Just because they reject somebody, that don't mean he gonna change what he done, change the purpose that he purposed for them. But Luke 21:24, it say, and they shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be led away captives into all nations. They shall be led away slaves into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles. See, until the Gentile time is up, and then Yahushua coming to save his people. So this is the narrative that these people are rejecting. And it's only because God is blinding their mind. What you got, Isaiah 6 and 9, real quick. Let me make sure I quoted that right. Isaiah 6 and 9. Make sure that's the right quote. Yep, Isaiah 6, 9, and 10. See, he's blinding them so because they doing wickedness pretty much. And he making sure you ain't coming out of that wickedness unless you're not going to be, look at some evidence in the midst of your wickedness and, be saved, because the evidence and the information is going to be the salvation. So if that's the salvation, we can't, you can see it. I'm going to let you see it, but you're not going to see it on the level where you understand it. That's why he say they're going to have ears and hear and eyes, and they're going to see it, but they not going to understand it. Because to understand it is going to mean you're going to work along with that, where it's going to save your life. But as long as you're in wickedness, he's not going to let you understand. That's what that Psalms 111 and 10. He's not going to let you understand it until you start practicing what you have learned and understood, or what you've seen, you practicing it. So that's why these people are totally blind. They can't grasp what the heck is going on. But I'm going to leave it there. All praise to Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Hashem, Kakadash. Double honor to the elders pushing the truth. Peace to the elect worldwide. The blacks, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Descendants of slaves scattered around the globe on slave ships and through many captivities. Our kingdom is at hand. Shalom.